Hey, love bugs, it's Roslyn back at you, woman. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time talking about my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended beautiful family, just thank you so much for the love and support y'all are constantly giving each and every day. It is truly a blessing on many levels. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste, love and blessings. Love and light and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell at the bottom so you know when your girl's about to upload her next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback to the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacts your life and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are uplifting, give you good vibes that you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that may be going through some trying times at the moment and need confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give your a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support as always. And I hope you're able to resonate with the content of my video. And the music that you're hearing in the background is from Self Healing Collective, and the meditation is called Open Your Heart, 639 hertz, heart chakra music. Heal the past, manifest love, release all resistance. And I will go ahead and post their link in the description box below. And the video I'm doing today is called Twin Flame 101 Heyokas, having a deeper understanding from isolation to solitude. It's always good to have your hermit mode. I remember before going in my spiritual awakening, well, actually, I was going through my spiritual awakening and just really didn't know what was going on because it made me feel like all HELL hockey sticks just hit the fan. And it was just so many different things that I was going through, so many different tragic situations that I was really having to reflect on. And I would start hearing thoughts from other people. And it was just like, if anybody ever watched Buffy and the Vampire Slayer, when she went, I guess somebody did a spell on her or something like that. She was hearing everybody's thoughts and thought she was going mad. That was kind of how I was going through, what I was going through. And it was really crazy for me because I was always that type of person that never really liked being alone. I don't know. It was just like I was always by myself, growing up a lot. And have, my siblings were a lot older than me, so I was the baby. And, I had my little friends, when we were outside playing and stuff, but I always found myself by myself. So going through all these different things, I was going through a, spiritual awakening, dark night of the soul, all these other different things I had to, basically face was not fun. And that's a situation where you get to that point where you're like socially awkward, or they call it social distancing. And I was never that type of person. I always felt like I had to have friends around me 24/7. And it was always, I didn't like being alone with my thoughts. And people like, what you mean you don't like being alone with your thoughts? It was like really hard to explain. You already know that sometimes you can be in the world and it feels like you're in the world by yourself. You just feel like you never fit in. And, going through those different situations, it was so many different things was going on in my mind. And there was a lot of things that was hitting me all at one time. And it was just like, it was too much that I was really, truly going through. And it was just like being able to do that, just trying to figure out, am I going crazy? Things just felt so weird, and was just like really just having to adapt to the truth that, just hit me like a ton of bricks. And it was so many different things that I really truly had to go through just to be able to get my mind in alignment with everything that was taking place. And that's what led me to start doing videos, because I never wanted anybody to ever feel like I felt, because I felt lost. And it's like all my assistance came from, my spirit guides, my loved ones that passed on before I even knew I had that sixth sense. So it was all these different things, like, like I've told you before, if you watch me for a while, I always say your habits, whatever your habits is, or not your habits, but your hobbies, what you attract to, that's how universe a lot of times, communicates with you. And mine's were movies. So I used to watch The Sixth Sense. I watched Buffy and the Vampire Slayer, Vampire Diaries, and I really connected with Bonnie. So it was like so many different things the universe was preparing me for. to be able to, mirror out the gifts that I had within my life. And I felt like a freak of nature, because the things that, I did growing up, because of the things that I knew there was no way I should be able to know. And even my mom always told me that I always talked like I've been here before. I was old, so I talked before my time. And going through those things, and when I felt like I had major trust issues because of the, my truth that really smacked me in, just in my chest so much, that I had to go through, and I went through a whole mental and emotional and spiritual breakdown, isolation and solitude. And it's a big difference. It's just like when you're just not allowing yourself to be around anybody. I don't know if it's maybe because you just have very hard trust issues, which I can totally relate to. And I mean, I'm still working with that today. Um, and you just wouldn't be social awkward, like you never want to go nowhere. And there's times, I ain't even gonna lie, I used to be like that. People invite me somewhere, and it's like I used to go to the clubs and stuff like that. And there's a club here that's called Legion, and I should have already known. It was a place where it just felt like, the devil's den to me. And I would always get sick anytime I go in there, and I would have panic attacks after my spiritual awakening. So I could never, go out, to these different places, because I used to love going to clubs, but all of a sudden after I had that spiritual awakening, I could not be around a whole big crowd. So, but in that solitude, that's where, your blessings tend to come in. Well, your blessings always come in, but that's when you're allowing yourself. At times, it just felt like, all these things is going on with me. I felt lonely. I really did, because there's a lot of things that I cannot talk about. There's a lot of things that, it is hard for people to relate to the things I'm going through. It's not like I'm saying my issues are better than anybody else or worse than theirs. But it's just like, if you have not been in that experience, like I tell people, please don't say what you can imagine, because I never want anybody to imagine what those situations feel like. And it was very hard. So it was just a lot of things that, I mean, I felt by myself, because I've always been that person. I could never really express myself unless I was with my mom, because she was an empath as well. So she was the only one I can comfortably speak to about my spiritual, experiences. So when you're going through solitude, it's like you're being prepared for something that you're not even expecting. And a lot of times that solitude can make you feel like you're being isolated from everybody and everything that you love. And I know that reminds me of that song by Kesha, and it's called Praying. And I mean, that song really hits home for me, because it's just like, if this is worth living, why does everything that I know and love abandon me? Why do I feel so alone? The mess hurts too much. But then it's just like, you have to be able to see these things at a higher light. These things are happening for you, for your growth. These are the things that is going to allow you to see things in so many different angles, to where when things pop off with you, it's like you're already preparing yourself for. And it's just like, there's things that's happening to me left and right. And it is just like, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and work with it. You got to be able to expect the unexpected, but always stay ready, because you have to do that. And it's just like, everything that impacts you, and sometimes we can see it in a negative way, is for our growth. And I have to keep constantly telling myself that it's for my growth, it's for my growth, it's for my growth. And there's gonna be that time where I'm going through so many different things. Hell, I'm gonna feel like a daggone brick wall, because you're gonna hit me, it's just gonna bounce off like a grape. So, but that's that time when you feel like you're being isolated, because you need it to be in that isolation. Because if they're going to bless you in many forms, universe is preparing you for more than what you asked for. They're preparing you for the blessings that they truly feel like you deserve. And for you to be able to do that, they need to separate you from anything that's going to distract you from working on yourself. Being able to come into that tighter connection with yourself, to get into alignment, to be able to understand, this is what my purpose is, my mission, knowing my strength, knowing my weaknesses, allowing myself to heal where those wounds are just, haven't been, you know, uh, it hasn't been attended to. And these are the things you get to know about yourself on such a deeper level. Because it's like, my kids used to always say, Mom, you don't have any friends around here. I was like, if I do, they don't last long. So I just prefer to be dealing with people online. I don't deal with anybody in the physical sense, and I choose to be okay with that because there's so many different things. I don't want to be connected to somebody in the physical where I have to be very selective about what I talk about. And if it has to be that way, I just rather be by myself until the universe sends people that are physically, like-minded like me. But I prefer that better. I used to feel like I always needed somebody around me. But when you get into that solitude, this is where they're trying to make you become your own best friend. Because a lot of times we look for external voids to be able to fill what those voids on the interior needs to be, being able to be nurtured. And sometimes that's hard to do that if you're around a whole lot of people because you're, in the different mixes of energies with other people. And a lot of times with you being empaths, we tend to be helping everybody else. And then when it comes for ourselves, we are really not allowing ourselves to adapt to that change. And these are the things that has to really go on for you to get into that solitude. The solitude can look like torture. Solitude can feel like punishment. Trust me, I believe that. But when it came to that time, especially when we doing my shadow work, I had to understand there's things in my life within myself I desperately need to fix. There are so many different things that's going on in my life that, I get to that point because of all these different transitions that we're going through. And like I told y'all yesterday in the description box, it feels like we're in a boot camp. And they're trying to test you on every little thing that is taking place in your life. They're bringing people in repeat history just to see if you learn from those things. You can love people, but if you know that there was like toxic connection in that way, or they were draining to you, they were manipulating you, the love that you gave out or the nurture you gave out wasn't being reciprocated, they're going to see. And a lot of times you have to just love people from a distance. You have to be in that mode where you have to be able to work with yourself. And a lot of times you have to be in that selfish mode, be able to give yourself that attention of self-care. Because a lot of times we're around people just to be able to ignore the things that we really truly need to pay attention to. And all that is going to come back and repeat itself. And the more it repeats itself, it's just going to become worse and worse and worse every time. And yes, these things can be very hard to be able to do because we all carry wounds that we really don't want to sit up here and acknowledge. We're just like, well, maybe if I avoid them, it's going to be okay. No, it's not. No, it's not. You can be able to connect with so many different people, and it comes out in the connection. It comes within how you speak to people, what energy you're giving off, what energy you're opening yourself up to, because whatever wounds that you carry, it tends to connect with you within the people that you attract within yourself. And those are the things that we really do need to fix, because a lot of times, it was with me in my situations, the things that I did, I would have addictions, just to be able to pacify myself with the pain that really truly traumatized me. And I would look for that to be able to avoid the pain. And these are the things that I really needed to work on myself and heal. I don't need to allow myself to be carrying around that type of energy of wounds when I deserve to be happy. And a lot of times we don't understand. We keep ourselves from blessings because we're carrying around old wounds that we are allowing ourselves to go into that repetitive cycle of constantly, when it's coming up just to be able to separate. We end up, engaging with that memory instead of just allowing yourself to observe that when and just allow yourself to be at that point where you have to constantly train your mind. You're deprogramming yourself and unlearning the things that you have been molded to see, to act, to go against, to run away from. All these things, you're rewiring yourself for you to be able to say, you know what, yep, these things really did mess me up on so many ways. And, I'm not getting closure for this. Nobody's explaining anything to me. Nobody apologized. Nobody admitted anything. And a lot of times it's better off, even when you don't get those things for yourself, you have to be able to choose you. It's either you or that pain. And a lot of times we tend to give our pain more attention than we allow ourselves to give that love to ourselves for us to be able to grow. And these are the things that, I'm learning each and every day, each and every day. And I'm blessed for that. Because a lot of things, it still does, kind of sticks out like a sore thumb to me. But when I'm allowing myself to say, you know what, you're going to work on this every day. Everything is happening for a reason. Even when you don't get that closure or that apology or, just being upfront and honest about what has happened, allow yourself to close that door and allow you to stay focused on you. That's what the main importance is. Even though, it's just like anybody wants to be able to have closure, but a lot of times you're just not going to get that. You have to be able to allow people. Don't apologize when they're not sorry for what they're doing. And if you have to remind them what they need to apologize for, it's not genuine, because you had to remind somebody of that. And you should, a lot of people don't carry that vibe of empathy, and they're, we get upset, like, I would have never did that to that person. You have to understand, nobody has that same mindset as you. Nobody carries that same heart as you, but you have to choose what's better for you. And it is not hurting anybody else for you to carry around these wounds. The only person that's going to hurt is yourself, because the people that unleash that on you, they carry it around and going to the next person and seeing what they can damage and tear up then, or they're sleeping well, not even thinking about you, or if they are, they're thinking about the things that they did to you just to be able to uplift themselves. And when those things happen, you have to be in pain within yourself, because you're seeking pleasure over seeing somebody else in their mishap or their suffering. But there's just people out there like that. But it's at that time where you need to be in solitude for you to be able to focus on yourself, on that transition that needs to take place, because you're coming from a place of being a warrior. These things are reminding you what you forgot. It always has to take that psychological scar that hit you in that right place. It hit different for you to be able to understand, there's something about me I really need to know, because there's something in me that I feel like is detached, is missing. And when we detach ourselves, that's not good. Unless you're detaching yourself from pain, for you to be able to say, you know what, yes, these things have really rocked me in that way, but allow myself to see this as that learning experience that strengthened me in so many ways. There's so many people that's walking around inflicting wounds on people that didn't even cause it. And though you can't be that type of person, you're that one that's giving that example to say you had that choice. We all have that choice. You can walk around and allow the things that has taken place to be able to empower you and strengthen you, and being able to say, these are the things that were sent to break me. But also it broke me away from everything that I thought was true. It showed you your truth. That pain always shows you the truth about something. And a lot of times that mess ain't pretty. It is not pretty at all, but you have to appreciate that solitude, because isolation is when you're avoiding something or someone. But when you're in solitude, that's allowing you to get in that closer. The best friend you have is within yourself. You have to be your own best friend, because you're gonna have to deal with you for the rest until you get called home. And you have to be that best friend. You have to be that own support system for yourself. When you're empowering yourself to go straight forward, don't make no excuses, don't procrastinate, just start. I'm like, man, I went to bed at 4:30 this morning, tired as I don't know what, and woke up at 7 something this morning. And I'm getting up like, what kind of video I'm gonna do today? What am I gonna do today? Or do I gotta redo something else? Or okay, do I gotta check this email? Let me go ahead and reply back to my family, let them know I'm appreciating that. That's all I'm on my grind, on being able to grow within myself, so I can reflect and project that to other people, so they can see the things that they need to work on. We all have something to work on. We don't know everything. Enlightenment is when you know that you don't know everything. There's still more things out there that you need to know about yourself, about your surroundings, where you're trying to head to, what you need to invest in, what you need to truly avoid, what things you need to stay focused on, or what you need to cut away. So we're all at that time, like I said yesterday, they got me focused on this inner work, because that's a lot of the things that we are really taking part in, is that inner work. And these are the things that really needs to, go. If you don't invest in yourself, who will? The universe invests in you, but they want you to be able to invest in yourself. They have that confidence in you, but they want you to have that confidence in you. So I hope you were able to have that, can take something from that. I hope y'all have a blessed, safe weekend. Be responsible at everything you do. You're truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And I give a post notification shout out to Christina Flaherty, Gwen Womer, and like me, Mala uh, Peterson. Much love to you, and Joe Brown. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a line, share, tell somebody about the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video, and I'll see you later. Much love. Peace.